Well, good morning. First job. Got to apologise for the lack of videos over the past month. The beast from the east has severely hampered productivity as far as I'm concerned. I've not even managed to get out on the bank to shoot a magazine feature, let alone film some video content for you guys. So must apologise for that, but you know, these things happen. Now I've brought you to an absolutely beautiful venue today. It's a massive reservoir near Northampton. Big wild venue. It's over 100 acres and it's full to the brim at the moment. In fact, the sluice down over to my shoulder here it's full. It's running off down into the river, so can't get a lot more water in here than what there is now. And I've just come for a day out, to be honest. Got a few bits to try, a few bits to test out, and I just thought it'd make a nice little film. You know, deep water feeder fishing. I don't profess to be an expert, and if anything, I've joined this place just to try and improve my feeder fishing game, because it's so important now that, you know, I want to be on it and I want to be competing. So what I've done, me and Steve Ringer actually came last week and we sat here and it was freezing cold, to be fair, but we fished 30 odd metres out where we've put a fish finder out and it's 31 foot deep, and we caught some fish, but we both got a feeling that it was a bit too deep, we probably didn't feed it right, and it might have just been a bit too cold. So what I've done today, I've decided to go for a 2-line approach, something a little bit different. I'm going to feed a 15 metre line where I've got a count of 6, so it's probably about 8 or 9 foot, I should imagine, maybe a little bit deeper, you know, could be 10, 12 foot, something like that. And then I'm going to fish that 30 odd metre line that I fished last week, but I'm only going to feed pellets and corn out there. I'm going to fish for bream out there, and I'm going to fish for roach inshore. Right, so tackle for my session. I've got my trusty 10'10" Horizon Slim for the short line. Lovely soft rod, perfect for roach fishing. I've coupled that with a 520 centris reel. I've got 010 absolute feeder braid on there. I've got a nice running feeder rig, a little tiny cage feeder. Size 14 hook. These are wild fish. I can't imagine they're going to be hook shy. I think it's more important location and depth than you know, hook and tackle. So that's that. Nice and as simple as you like for that. For the further line, again a matrix rod. This time 12'6" Horizon X class. Again a soft rod, but a bit longer to cope with that. Bit of a further chuck. I can chuck a decent sized feeder with that. I've got her interestingly on the 2 rods. They're both free running. I've played around with paternosters and whatnot, and I just can't. I just prefer a running rig when I'm fishing for bigger fish. I just find it easy to play fish on. So I've got a twiddle balloon below that. This one's running on a swivel, and this one's actually, the roach rig's actually on a feeder link. Good friend Andy Pell in a local tackle shop makes them, so I've got him to make me a few of those. Again, 520 centris, 010 absolute feeder braid. As simple as that. So yeah, simple as you like tackle. Let's just see if we can catch a roach. I was a bit cheeky last night, and I came down and I put a bit of pre-bait in. I think on a water like this, you probably do need to do a bit of pre-baiting, especially look at that lovely little plot, 15 metres. I should imagine that's just at the bottom of these stones. As you can see all the way along here on this damn wall, it's obviously rocks. So let's just see what we get. While we're waiting for a bite, well, if we get a bite, just want to run you through what bait I've brought. Natural waters such as this obviously call for natural baits, but you've also got to have a bit of the new school as well, because I should imagine a lot of carp anglers get on this venue, because there is some big carp in here, I'm led to believe, and you know, those bream love mopping it up, and from what I'm told, the average size of the bream in here is £7 plus, so you know, there's every chance that they've got that big eating pellets and stuff like that. So what I've done, I've brought a pint of soaked up, you see them there, soaked up 2mm F1 sweet pellets. Lovely colour. I tend to think that bream do like a bit of colour, so these have got a lovely pale yellow colour. Should be ideal for these fish. Some yellow peril. Can't go bream fishing without some yellow peril. Again, it's quite clear today, and you know, there's a good chance that a bit of peril will nail them. I've got some dead maggots and some dead pinkies. Again, you can't really go bream fishing without these now. I like pinkies in clear water as well, so we've got them there. Maybe that, you know, the pellets in the corner are the better option. And I've also got some casters. These are just left over from my match from the weekend. They're not the best casters, I've got to be honest. They've been left in my car since the weekend, but they'll do for today. I've got some live maggots for the hook. If I'm catching, you know, if I want to fish for roach short, I'm going to keep casting, by the way. Yeah, if I want to fish for roach short, then I'm going to have to use live maggots on the hook. I don't really like dead maggots for roach, I've got to be honest. Just never had a lot of success with them. So live maggots all the way for me. Just a nice little lob. Yeah, it's just a simple bait selection really. I've got a few worms to chop up. Might chop some of them up later. I've got a few red worms for the hook. I do like a red worm, as most feeder anglers do. Moving on to the ground bait. I've got two mixes because obviously this is a new venue to me, so I don't really know what to expect. I came last week and I fished a sweet ground bait and I switched to a fish meal and caught a few fish. So I've gone with fish meal long. I've put in, this is carp super blend, spotted fin, dark super blend, 50-50. And I've put a bit of black dye with it just to darken it off even more. Just a confidence thing really, dark ground bait for the bream. On the roach line, I've just got a bag of Sensus Gross Guard-ons. About as good as you'll get a roach ground bait, to be fair. Lovely smell. Very nice. I've just mixed that fairly dry so that it explodes out of the feeder. It's full of crushed hemp and bits and pieces like that, so it'd be ideal for today. Right, so what I'm going to do, I put a bit of pre-bait in last night, but I fed, let me just show you the feeder. I've got my feeding rod here, big old Bertha. These are the biggest AS feeders, weight forward design, you can see that there. Lovely big feeder. On a £3 cart rod, £3 test curve cart rod. And I just filled that up with pellets and corn and capped it off with ground bait, and I've put 3 of them in at 36 metres. I'm going to hopefully leave that for a couple of hours. Oh, I had an indication then. Hopefully leave that for 2 or 3 hours to settle, and then go over it with like harried corn or, you know, a big bait, maybe 4 maggots, that sort of thing. And then for the short line, I've not actually put anything in. I've just gone in with a little feeder, and I'm just putting a few maggots in. My aim is just to try and, you know, catch a few fish while that long line settles. And if we do, great. If we don't, then it doesn't matter. I think we'll catch them out long over that, you know, more modern day bream baits. But yeah, I'm just keeping it nice and regular. I tend to think in deep water like we're faced with today, there's not a lot of benefit to just leaving the feeder out there. Granted, when I'm fishing double corn over a bed like I've got further out, I'll probably leave it in for 10-15 minutes. But when I'm fishing this sort of short range feeder, with a little tiny feeder, like what I'm doing here, I like to be in and out every 2 or 3 minutes, making a bite happen. You know, I'm feeding regular, I've got bait falling through the water, and that little plop and that little cloud coming out the feeder, I'm sure will pull a fish down and probably give me my best chance of catching one, to be honest. Right, well, it started pretty steady. We just had a bit of a downpour of rain. I actually caught 2 bream in 2 chucks when the camera wasn't on. I've got pictures of them though, so I'll put them on screen just so you prove I'm not lying. But I caught 2 fish in 2 chucks at 15 metres, and what was really interesting is I was getting liners as well. It's like a shoal of fish just sat there in front of me, and I caught 2, and that was it. Not a sign of a roach. I've got a feeling if it's like last week, I'll have to put some worms in to catch roach. They seem to just love it on here. But yeah, so far, funny enough, it's over where I put that sweet ground bait in and maggots. But it was interesting that I've caught them so short on, you know, there's no wind today, it's off my back. I caught a few 2 big bream, they're big fish, 8-pounders, lovely fish. It might just be a case of whenever them bream come in front of you, just picking them off. I have seen one roll in front of me as well, about over my 30-metre line, which was interesting. Oh, here we go. out of nowhere, we've got one. On that short line, big fish again. As I say, braid straight through, so it is a bit hairy. You see that lovely soft rod. But so much for the roach fishing on the short pole, short line. Oh, big old fish these are. Headbang galore. Got to keep the rod up because I think it's quite rocky down there. Oh, could have bended that rod. Good bite, you pull the rod in. It just shows you that you've got to work hard, keep that casting. And when they're £8 a pop, you can't just expect to just keep catching them. Look at that. Massive. Just take my time. No need to rush these fish. Oh, look at that. It's clear water, they're just beautiful. I'm glad I've caught one on camera because people will be thinking, look at that. I can't even fit him in the net. Look at the size of him. Like a Ferry Meadows bream. We'll try and hold him up, but he looks like he's getting ready to spawn, this lad. Let's just get a disgorger out. Unhook him. Single, oh no, double maggot doing the damage. I'll just pop that in the edge and try and hold him up. No keep nets here, so we don't have to worry about piling them into a keep net, which is nice. I like to put these fish straight back then. Look at him. £8 of anyone's money, that. Proper big male. Covered in leeches. Absolutely covered in leeches, interestingly. But let's slip him back. Off to fight another day, that old warrior. Look at that. Oh, go on, son. Brilliant. Well, the rain started, which hampered filming a little bit. But I just had my first chuck long. I've got one. Took 4-minute cast. Feels big, to be fair. This will be my 4th fish, this will. 4 fish are over £30 if I get it out. Just colossal, great things. Pull so hard in this water, deep water. Sorry about the bait brolly, I've had to do what I can to keep the camera dry. Awesome fishing this is, just staggering. See that rod just bending beautifully. Feels big, this does. Here it comes. Yeah, it's massive. To be fair. Another big reservoir bream. Shuffle him in. Lovely. First chuck long and we've got one over that big bed of bait. Another, certainly £7. Oh, he's got some horrible leeches on him. I think these fish are just waking up. Just unhook him. Hold him up for you. £6, £7 maybe. Oh, it's full of fight. Look at him. Beautiful. Get him back. Yeah. Right, so that chuck was on my 36-metre line. I fed lots of pellets, lots of corn, dead maggots, just a bit of everything, to be fair. And I've got started on three red maggots, live ones, on a size 12.
70cm hook length, and I'm filling my feeder up. I'm just putting in a few dead maggots and dead pinkies, pinch of pellets, a couple of grains of corn. I'm just filling it, 4 square feeder. I'm just filling it so it's nearly all bait, to be fair. Can you see that? Real positive way of fishing. Let's see if we can get another one. Very lovely that did. Absolutely lovely. We've set the stopwatch, like you've got to do. These days, don't get a bite unless you've got the stopwatch activated. Well, I'm 2 minutes into my second cast out long. I've got another one. You see the rod? Oh, this is incredible fishing. I'll just put that there, hopefully you can see. I even have to change cameras on my GoPro. Change batteries on my GoPro, and it caught me off guard. I looked round and the rod's belting round. Just lovely fishing. Lovely big bream. Can't beat this. Comes a big bertha from the depths, smaller one this time, still 4 pound. What a morning's fishing, still massive. Can't actually get my hands around this one though, look at that. Show, oh. There we go, got another one. 3 and 3 chucks now. You can see the weather's taken a turn for the worse, but sport is just fantastic. And on a morning where it couldn't be more different to last week when we were struggling for bites. Yeah, we were struggling for bites and we're probably fishing a bit negative in hindsight looking at this. And I think this is just an out and out bream venue. Sure, there are lots of roach in here, and well, they are. I've seen them when I've done features here with other anglers, but there's a lot of bream in here looking at this. The water's freezing and it doesn't seem to matter. And now I've got my feeding better this week, more positive. That 31 foot line at 36 metres, just not even an issue. I mean, this is another £6 plus fish that's just brilliant. I mean, I've never had bream fishing like this before, not big fish like this. Caught them at Ferry and in Ireland and stuff, but never like this. Not where it's a £7 or £8 bream every chuck in. Let's just unhook him. It's just ridiculous. Oh, look at that. Bream snot to the forehead. Just unhook him. Show him to you. Another lovely young looking fish. Absolutely massive though. They're massive mouths on them. Very lean as well. I think they hungry fish in here. Just slipping back. Fantastic. As you can see, we got a bit wet. It's been an eventful hour's fishing. And it's absolutely bucketed it down. The main camera is well away, can't even look to get it out. But we've had some fantastic fishing. I think we've had 14 of those big bream now on this 30-metre line. Just incredible fishing. It's all the bites are sort of 3-4 minutes into the cast. Some of them as quick as 50 seconds, 30, 40, 50 seconds. Just unbelievable fishing. I've never had bream fishing like this. Not in April like it is on a big reservoir. Every bream has been £7, £8. I've even had one that probably 9. If I had a set of scales, I wouldn't be surprised if it was £10. Just phenomenal fishing. I found best hook bait's been 3 maggots. Nothing fancy on a size 12 hook. I've tried corn, I've had a couple on corn, tipped with a red maggot. I'm putting plenty of corn in, so no surprise that I've caught one on it. To be honest, I think they're just eating machines in here. I've got a feeling that they've cleaned me out now because I've not had any bites for ages. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick up the feeding rod, put another couple of cages in, and I'm going to have probably try and catch another couple of fish, another half hour, and then I'm going to head off home. But it's been an awesome session, just incredible fishing, and bream fishing of the highest order, I think you can call it. Right, action slowed up a bit. I've got a sneaky suspicion the fish have just cleaned out all the bait and probably just moved on a bit. So I'm going to give this one a big top up. I've got my feeding rod here with a big cage on it. It's a carp rod with a great big bertha on there. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to quickly sort some bait out. What we'll do, put some of this to one side for later. That's just for going through the cage, and I've just got, I don't know, a couple of handfuls of ground bait there. I'm going to put in a big handful of casters, handful of corn, big handful of pellets. I think it's the pellets that they're after, to be honest. I bet he's just been around for a chat. Simon, lovely chap. I'm just going to put in all of this, as you can see. Lovely mix, loads of pellets, loads of corn, plenty of casters, some dead maggots in there, nice breamy mix. And we're gonna see about getting that in. Obviously big feeder, quite tricky to fill these are, but you just got to I put it in quite soft. I'm going to empty it quite high up, so I'm going to put all of that bait in. You see that? Just loads of particles in there. Loads of good stuff. We'll just chuck it out. Important to have a big rod and that. This is a £3 Tesco carp rod, fox rod, doesn't matter what it is. Nice big carp reel. Just the aim being to make it as easy, and you can chuck them rods out, them feeders out with normal rods, but I wouldn't recommend it. You want a big bertha really. And for, you know, for 100 quid you can probably get yourself, probably even less than that, a nice big reel and a carp rod to do this. Loads of particles. It looks so breamy, that does, doesn't it? Goes in lovely. Cushion it in, hit the clip. Use the distance sticks behind me to make sure I'm fishing at the same range as what this is going in. 36 metres. You know, 12 wraps of my distance sticks. Soft ground bait this, so it comes out pretty quick. I'm letting it get to about halfway down and then emptying it. Don't really want to drag it along the bottom. I can help it because there could still be some fish down there, so hoping that I'll scare them with a scattering of bait rather than, you know, a load of bait going on the bottom. So that's 3 feederfuls. Probably get a 4th one in there. I dread to think what it's like in the summer. Must be like incredible fishing. Empty that out. Put that final one in. So you don't squeeze it in too hard because you want it sort of to come out pretty quickly. If if it was allowed, you could use a spod, I suppose, but it's not something that's allowed in most matches, so I don't bother with it. Now I'm going to have a quick look short actually. Now I've put this bait in, I'll give it 10 minutes just to settle. And then I'm going to have a quick chuck short, see if anything settled there, and then we'll go back on this and try and catch another big bream. Well, 10 minutes ago, put the bombardment in, and it's not taken long. I'm a minute into my, that's a slight exaggeration, I'm a minute 40 into the first cast onto the shower of bait, and it's just gone straight round. There's obviously a load of bream stacked up here, and they just can't get enough of the grub. I think I'm going to make this my last fish. It's number 15, so it's just amazing how they respond to that bait. You know, I've just put 4 of those big feeders in, and you'd think that would probably take an hour for it to settle down, but when these bream start feeding, it's just incredible. Shot leader just coming through now. Wow, look at this. Oh, it's ridiculous fishing this. Look at that, great big bronze boy. Another one to shuffle in the net. Oh, big tail on him. Have a look at him. Oh yes. So this is the best bream fishing I've ever had, by a million miles. I've never had it like this before. Not so many quality fish. I'm sure there are days at ferry and stuff where you can get days like this, but not in April. And let's have a little look at him. Look, I mean, he's an immaculate fish, just gorgeous. Look at that. Another 7-8 pounder. 3 red maggots. And that probably rounds off my day nicely. So let's get him back. Go on, old girl. Beautiful. Sorry, still here. Couldn't back up after that last one. I just had to keep going. It's just amazing fishing. I can't get enough of it. When do you ever get fishing like this? It's a bream every chuck in that's 8 pound. You just never get fishing like this. Nice to have a good workout with my rods as well. These XCs, not use these that much, not like the slims, so it's nice to put a bend in them and see what they're made of, and they're actually, for this stamp of fish, just amazing. Here he comes. I think this one has to be my last one though. Can't. There we go. There's a little one. Little baby bream. I say little, still 6 pound. Still a 6 pound slab, so not to be sniffed at. Nice. Lovely young fish. Right, it's got to be on it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.